Welcome to the Align Life podcast by yours truly, Dr. Tiffany. How about we get out that magnifying glass and look at every part of your life? The awesome, the suck, and everything in between. There's so much beauty in you. Stop being afraid of what isn't good enough and let's double down on what is together. It's about your truth in your life, aligned. Hello, friends, and welcome back. Today is all about sales. It's all about selling yourself. As some of you know, many of you know, maybe a lot of you know, I love business. When I was in college, I went to Mayville State University. Cheers to the Comets, anybody listening. And I had a professional development teacher, Mr. Terry Kammer. Maybe he's Dr. Terry Kammer. Sorry, that's not out of any disrespect. He was the ultimate best teacher that taught us about life and about relationships and everything from how you eat professionally in front of people or what you say or what your handshake is like, your eye contact, all of the things. And I don't know, he probably didn't teach me this, but back in the day, the quote was always fake it till you make it. And it's so interesting how fake it till you make it can create an identity that you maybe didn't know was going to happen, or it could totally fuel you into confidence and certainty in what you're teaching and who you're being. And so, we go through ebbs and flows of life and of evolution, expansion, personal development, all of the things. And so many of my life lessons have come from business, because when you put yourself out there and your ability to sell is based on your ability to connect with people and get results for people, you kind of got to get your shit together. You can only fake it till you make it for so long. And people are going to be like, ooh, I feel that. I see that. So people are really scared of the word sales. And I can even say it in chiropractic with a business that is truly selling yourself every moment. Sales is life. Selling you is basically the focus of all of it. Because if you're not selling yourself, if you're not showing up as your best, if you're not putting your best foot forward, if you're not acting in congruence with who you are, you're not going to have much around you. So I wanted to go through the top 3 things. As we bring a magnifying glass to sales and business, what are the 3 things that the top 3 things that I think you should be working on, or the questions to ask yourself, or the points to maybe process through? So I'm going to just hop right to it. This is a intense topic, and it's one that may trigger you massively because we aren't comfortable with the word sales, and we're definitely not always comfortable putting ourselves out there. So number 1, integrity. Being you, no matter who you're with, where you are, what hat you have on. This is the key. And I mean, even when I opened my practice 15 years ago, there wasn't social media. Goodness, there's hardly Google. LinkedIn, like the business resources were important. The networking groups were important. The Chamber of Commerce events, the face-to-face events in the big event centers where it was. And so you had to put yourself out there. If you wanted to build business, you needed to meet people and you needed to find a way to connect to them, not for you, but for them. So integrity with social media, we got a lot of distractions. We have a lot of opportunities to show the highlight reel. If you're on Instagram and you have your Insta stories on the beach with your spouse, with bright blue water behind you, but you're broke and your marriage is falling apart, that is not congruent. We're going to struggle with integrity. So then you're not sure who you are in the multiple dimensions of your life. That gets freaking confusing. So if you're wondering like, ooh, who do I need to, like, all my neighbors think we're doing really well and we're really happy and I love my job. And that might not be true at work. That might not be how you show up with your friends. That might not be how you act at a sporting event. That might not be how you are with your family behind closed doors in the safety of your own home. How do you avoid protecting yourself? How do you step into life with a bit more vulnerability tomorrow, knowing this is what I am, this is what I got, this is who I am, and I'm going to learn and grow from it? Because once the gap is big between who you're acting and who you really are, there are going to be so many incongruencies and lessons that you're going to learn along the way. And those painful lessons aren't that enjoyable. I believe some of us are meant to teach, to write, to help other people not go through the same things. The journey is the journey, right? The roadmap's the roadmap. The path is the path. But when you find mentors that have done it and flopped, or you are watching what they're doing and how they're doing it, that's when we get to avoid some of these pitfalls. Because I believe certain people are meant to mentor, coach, and teach for that reason, because we go through our stuff and we might be able to help you avoid going through some of the ick, or give a little bit of a redirect, or maybe there's a T in the road, right? And you can't see it. Who in your circle can help you see it so that you don't continue to go over the road and into the ditch? Number 2, nobody is responsible for selling you besides you. Nobody knows you better than you. And goodness, please do not put that stress and responsibility on someone else ever. Your spouse does not know you better than you and is not responsible for helping you redirect. Your boss isn't, your mom isn't, your dad isn't, your brother isn't, your kids aren't. You are responsible. So put on your big girl panties, get your big old rain boots on, and start walking and start trudging and start experiencing things. Start acting as if there's more courage in you than fear. Know that everything is about possibilities and opportunities, not what ifs. What if we would wake up that way? What if we would wake up and have more integrity between who we really are and what we're doing, what we're saying, how we're acting? And what if we would wake up and be 110% responsible for us and us only? Can you even imagine the world? Oh my gosh, can you even imagine your family or your health or your money situation or your job? My gosh, you might not sell your soul for your freaking paycheck anymore, because it's not your boss's fault. It's not your spouse's fault. It's not your kids' fault. It's not the apartment. What's the person that runs apartment buildings? It's not that person's fault. It's not COVID's fault. It's not the governor's fault. How can you take responsibility for your life? And that's showing up as you and selling you as you. Number 3, if you don't like what you're selling, change it. You are the one who is solely responsible for how you think, what you believe, what you do, your personality, your actions, and your results. So if we get to the end of that sentence, if you don't like your results, we have to go back to the mindset of who am I and change your thoughts. And if we know that now we can't blame anybody for our current situation and our current life, you'll put your big girl panties on and you'll pull up your rain boots because that's all you got. You got you. And when you look in the mirror, you need to be your own best friend. You need to be your number one, or you'll never find another number one because they're not responsible for you, your life, your success, and your results. So changing it actually is a lot easier than thinking about changing it. And it's not an event. It's not a like, all right, you wake up in the morning. The mindset is you wake up in the morning, you're like, all right, we're done with this. I'm going to do things differently so I can live and feel differently. That is a journey and a process, but it starts with one decision. Let's not confuse ourselves. If we don't ever decide to change it, we're going to be swirling. That's when you have all of the indecision. But do you realize indecision is just a decision to not decide? What if it were as easy as just deciding that this isn't the life I'm going to live anymore? This is not how I'm going to be anymore. This is not the wife that I want to be. This is not the friend that I want to be. This is not the CEO that I want to be. This is not the brother I want to be. When you decide that, now you can start aligning your actions to who you want to be, to the thoughts of who you are. But that starts with integrity, narrowing the gap. Number 2, it starts with being solely responsible for you and never pointing a finger at anyone ever. And number 3, knowing that the power is within you to change whatever you want to change. So business, the business of selling yourself, is personal development. It's when there's a weakness in the business, there's a weakness in you. There's a weakness in your leadership. There's a weakness in your approach. There's a weakness in your mindset. There's a weakness in your ability to delegate. Whatever it is, that for me has been the catalyst to continuing to learn. When I have things that happen in business with people, with my team, in chiropractic, with my hands, when I feel icky after a shift, I'm like, whoa, I got to get better at that tomorrow. What do I need to do to be better at XYZ? And then I go do that. It's as easy as that. Make the decision to be better at it. Then trust the path that's laid out for you to learn. I would love your feedback on this. I think this is a deep concept, whether or not you've ever thought of yourself as in being in business of the selling yourself, or you are in business, or you are leading a team, or you are managing a team, and you're trying to figure out where to go from here. Start here. Start working on yourself personally. Watch how your business and your work environment, your career totally explodes. Thank you, friends, for listening. As always, I love you. Remember, the Made for More workshop is live and free on Tuesday, November 10th at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. In order to register, I'll put the link in the show notes. Check us out on Facebook, Healing Touch Chiropractic, or The Align Life. All the links will be right there for you. You'll join our Facebook group and we will go live on Tuesday at noon. The topic, Made for More, how to reach your goals in 2020. Because let's get real. January 1st, 2021 is going to be no different. Unless you make changes in your mindset, you create the roadmap and you start to get results. So I can't wait to see you on the inside.